Welcome back to the One Step Journey podcast, episode 30.
Episode 30.
Episode 30. Thank you guys so much for taking another step with us here today. Our journey, your journey. And it's a great day. It's a great day to have a great day, man.
It is a great day to have a great day.
So thank you guys so much for tuning back in. We have another exciting episode here, part two of last week's episode of sales. And
it was a good one last week.
That was a good one.
I just feel like there's so much to talk about. Let's just take a second to just acknowledge, man, we are at episode 30 after the rebrand. That is amazing. Episode 70 overall.
Let's go. That's huge.
That's crazy.
Man. It's crazy. You've talked about this before, and I've told people, yeah, we're at episode, now 70, and they're like, whoa. And I was like,
that's
always,
cool. That's always the big kicker. Whenever I tell somebody I have a podcast or we have a podcast, like, come check us out. They're like, oh, okay. And they're expecting us to be like, oh, I got 2 or 3 episodes out. It's like, no, we got 70 episodes out.
Right. We're out.
Episode 70 drops on Tuesday. Check it out. They're like, whoa, wait, what?
Mm-hmm. We're out there.
We're doing the damn thing.
We've been doing this, man. We came a long way since day one, dude. I'll never forget day one.
Well, we can never forget day one. We don't even have to talk about it. But it was just like, it took us 2-3 times. Yeah. Here we are now. Almost experts. Just plug and play and just ready to rock and rip.
Let's go.
But we have a great episode today.
Part two. Yes.
The last one, we could have went down the rabbit hole and talked forever.
Yeah.
Sales is obviously something that me and you are both passionate about and we could talk about all day.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to do another part 2.
Yeah.
Do a part 2. Continue the conversation.
And let's actually be a little bit vulnerable too, right? Because I think that we have a couple questions here that we want to cover today and really just give some nuggets, share some insight to maybe some things that work for us, some things that maybe we struggle with.
I love it.
And just really being authentic and just being true to who we are. And, maybe someone who's listening to this
can relate
and maybe give us some feedback too.
That's always something we wanted to do from the very beginning, whether it was Boys for Life or now One Step Journey, is just be vulnerable. Yeah. Be open about what it is that we're struggling with, what's working well and all that kind of stuff. So 100%, we can be vulnerable today.
Let's dive right in, baby. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Question for you, Jeffrey.
Yes.
What do you struggle with in sales? What are some things that you struggle with?
It's funny because I was just talking about this with one of my coworkers. One of the biggest things that I feel I'm struggling with right now is doing things the right way. We talked about the preconceived notion. We talked about the stereotype on the salesman prerogative and all that kind of stuff. Is doing things the right way, but still building that urgency and still getting the close. Because what it is that I'm running into a lot right now is I'm building a lot of great relationships. I'm having great conversations. I'm finding opportunities, but it's hard to get them across the finish line. And a lot of our competitors are selling tons of lasers every single week.
Boom. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, what are they saying? What are they doing different? Because I'm hearing what a lot of these accounts are saying. They promised us the world. They sold us the device. They gave us no support. They left us high and dry. They sold us something that we didn't necessarily need or want to use, right? So it goes back to what I said. What I'm struggling with is being successful, but doing it the right way. Doing things the right way is the most important thing for me. I don't want to compromise my integrity or who I am as a person. But it's like it's teetering on that fine line of like building urgency and doing all that kind of stuff, but still maintaining like your humanity, your conscience, your integrity, and everything. And it's tough because in an extremely saturated market, which aesthetic sales is, it's extremely saturated. Differentiating yourself, building urgency, getting somebody across the finish line, and then obviously delivering on your word, delivering on the post-sale support, delivering on the efficacy of the devices and all that kind of stuff, right? But doing it the right way. Right? Does that make sense?
100%, dude. And it sounds like you said, having some hope and faith too along the way.
Because when you do things the right way, and we've talked about building relationships and being genuine and doing all that kind of stuff, what does it take? Time. And so in this industry, in sales in general, in most things, right, we want that instant gratification or that gratification like fairly quickly. But when it takes time of building organic relationships and doing things the right way, it's a process, right? If you went outside in your backyard and you planted seeds to try to grow a tree, obviously that tree's not going to grow overnight. It's going to take fucking time. It could take years.
Right.
So that's honestly what I'm struggling with, honestly. So I'll say doing things the right way, and then also patience. Patience is a big one.
Yeah.
What about you?
You kind of just stole mine.
Okay,
it's
my
patience.
bad.
You're good.
We're always on the same wavelength. We're always
man.
thinking the same way, so that doesn't surprise me. But talk to me. What do you got?
Patience is hard, and last week was a tough week. I'll be honest. I had a really tough week. Like you said, planted a ton of seeds, just really waiting for them to flourish and come a sprout at the right time. right?
100%.
And Friday I got a huge break, man. There were 3 exciting things that happened. I got one of the deals that I got a verbal agreement to close a deal, which is really exciting, about next steps for LQ. Another one I got.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you, brother.
Is that something you've been working for a while?
A couple weeks now, almost a month. Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you, brother. Another one is I got connected to someone in the cannabis space, which is huge too. So we're looking to set up a meeting and next week, and then another one also in the same space too.
Let's
so
go.
all happened on Friday. It was really interesting. Thanks, brother.
It's big.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of exciting things. So I'm going to leave it at that. We'll talk. We'll see where things go once they get across the finish line. But on Thursday, I think I was talking to Tina. I read. I've been getting into the Bible app on my phone.
Yeah.
A little bit more, and the devotional for that day was the hardships of being a entrepreneur. And it talked a lot about patience and like kind of pushing through and overcoming some of the negativity and some of the hardship that you go with. And it was just really ironic because it talked about that devotion on Thursday. And then fast forward to Friday, I literally told Christina, I woke up, I was in a really, really funky mood. I did go play basketball at 6 a.m., which was great. And then I was like, I don't want to do today. I almost just like did nothing that
on
day.
Friday?
Yeah, I literally almost just sat and watched movies all day. I'm not kidding. And then something switched that I went through. I made a call. I had a call at 11, just kind of kept pushing through. All of a sudden I got an email, getting connected to that company that I was just talking about. Then I had another phone call with another buddy in the same space. He said, yeah, send me something. I'll get it over to the owner. And then the last one was the deal that came through. So I could have just sat there and did nothing, but it was challenging, man. And that patience is real. Mm-hmm. That patience is real. So that's something I'm really focusing on, and just having faith, man, and hope.
Big.
Faith and hope.
I'm proud
and
of you for pushing through.
Thanks,
I know
brother.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
We talk about it, Feel Good Fridays.
Yeah, Feel Good Fridays.
If you were to have taken that day, I mean, you know your body, you know your mind.
For sure.
Sometimes we need that break.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm happy you pushed through, and then obviously you saw the light at the end of the tunnel on that day, and you saw all the hard work and the seeds that you've been planting over the last couple months came to fruition.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
amazing.
Thanks, brother.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been great, man. Yeah,
kind of
been
in similar
good.
boats, dude. I feel like last week for me, it's Q4 is usually always the busiest, especially in this industry, right? There's a couple different reasons. Tax code 179. People have all the money that they've made all year. They're ready to kind of spend whatever extra budget that they have allotted for integrating new technology and just growing the business and all that kind of stuff. So the fourth quarter, right? So October, November, and December of the calendar year are always the biggest.
Yeah.
And that's always where the expectations are the highest. That's where all the seeds that you've been planting all the way from January till October, it's time for them to grow.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, man, probably honestly up until this last week, I've been getting pretty burnt out. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's so much, man. And it's, as you know, in sales, it's very tough because we get told no for a living. Our job as salesmen does not start until the customer, the client, whoever says no. Mm-hmm. It'd be extremely easy if every single person that we talk to was like, yeah, sure, sign me up. I'm going to buy this, or I'm going to do that, or like, I want to do the Visa MasterCard or whatever it is. But obviously as salesmen, right, our job starts when they say no. Yeah. So just getting our teeth kicked in every single day, having to just take it and keep doing it, you get burnt out, especially when you're not necessarily seeing the fruits of your labor. Mm-hmm. But last week, I had set up these 3 really good opportunities. We had the specialist for one of our muscle devices that not only does aesthetics, but therapeutics as well, which is going to absolutely take over the market.
Let's go.
That Lutronic is launching. They've got some really exclusive partnerships. I won't talk about it here because none of it's been announced yet, but some super exciting stuff I can tell you off camera. But I lined up 3 really good demos. We had the specialist come in. We went through all 3 of the demos, went phenomenal. By the time that this episode comes out on Tuesday, we have 2 of the follow-up meetings going off tomorrow. So it'll be the day prior and then another one the next day on Wednesday. I think all 3 of them are through credit. They sent over some statements. One thing in sales too, we never want to count the chickens before they hatch.
Never.
But it's looking good.
Good. Right.
It's looking good on all 3 of those. So going back to what you had talked about and what we've been talking about here with the patience, it's always, we relate everything to working out. But I feel like a lot of the times when I don't want to go to the gym and I force myself to go, I get the best workout. And I say that because just like you on Friday, you woke up and you're like, fuck, I don't really want to do this, but you did it anyways. you had a great quote unquote workout, right?
Right.
And it's always whenever you show up for yourself, especially when you don't want to show up, you get the best results. So just remembering the patience and what we're working towards and the goal and all the seeds and all the stuff that we have been doing will eventually come to fruition, will come to reality. That's what keeps us going.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
It's obviously hard.
Yeah.
But obviously in those times where we're struggling, you got people to lean on. Me, your family, Tina, all that kind of stuff. I got friends, family to lean on too.
Right.
One of the recurring themes that we've obviously talked about, even back from episode 1 on Boys for Life, is no matter what struggle you're going through, you don't have to do it by yourself.
Never.
And that's amazing because obviously one of the hardest things I think, honestly, as us humans have to do is be patient.
It's hard.
Nothing good comes easy. And I'm an advocate that the Lord is going to give you what's meant for you when it's meant to happen.
Amen.
And we don't know when that's going to be. It could be in 3 months. It could be in 6 months. It could be in 6 years. But we have to continue to show up every single day and still work every day.
Right.
And show him that we want it.
100%.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what we're both struggling with. That's what we're going through.
Yep.
I feel like it's relatable.
It is relatable.
You know?
Yeah.
And another thing that's relatable, most people in sales do cold calling or cold emailing.
Yep.
What do you tell yourself prior to cold calling or sending out cold emails?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, cold calling, a lot of it is just self-talk. A lot of times I'll listen to either a Les Brown or a Brian Tracy, like motivational video that kind of helps me get in that mindset of, hey, like I matter, like this call doesn't matter at the end of the day. The worst thing they're going to do is say, no, I'm never going to talk to them again. So really get in that mindset as opposed to the negative. What if they don't answer? What if they say no? Just kind of have that self-doubt creep in. So a lot of it is just getting in the right set of mind where being positive, right?
Yeah.
Another thing that I've noticed on for me is smiling behind the phone.
People feel the energy.
They really do. So that's something that I've really focused on. Hey, this is Coleton. How are you doing today? Like literally though, but like
No, 100%.
think about it though, because if you're just already like freaking out, you kind of mumble over your words or maybe you stutter. Like I've
people
been
feel
there before.
that.
They do, and they're not gonna respect you. Sadly, that's just the name of the game.
Yeah.
So that's something that works for me. It's just smiling and just having fun.
Yeah.
Right. Smiling, having fun, and just really not caring. I think at the end of the day, but also
Don't give a fuck.
But we've also done this hundreds of times. It's nothing new. It's just someone different on the other side with a different personality.
100%.
Yeah. So before I get an answer two, I'm going to hear your response to cold calling because I know it's something you do a lot.
I do. It's something that I do every single day. It's a big part of my job is cold calling, and it sounds so funny, but I agree with you. It's the smiling. I made a cold call when I was on the phone with shout out Lucas on Friday, and I had my work phone in the car, and I drove past the med spa, and I had to call him real quick because I was like, I'm going to an event, whatever. I need to stop in. I need to find out if the manager was there. And I called and he heard me do it. And it's something that I don't do on purpose.
Yeah.
But every single time I cold call, my voice goes up like 8 octaves. I don't know what it is, bro.
And mind you, Jeffrey doesn't drink caffeine either.
It goes up like 8 octaves. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
All of my coworkers and everything make fun of me. But it goes back to just having fun.
Yeah.
Being super bubbly. People feel that energy.
They do.
And just like you said, what's the worst thing that could happen? They hang up, they're not interested. I really honestly don't get hung up on too much, right? Obviously, I get a lot of, send us an email or, reach out to the manager or whatever.
And they
kind of just have the usual way to just kind of get me off the phone. But you just got to have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, right? Every 100 calls that you make, you might book 10 appointments, right? Or whatever it is. And then you just have to think every appointment that you're booking, you're at an opportunity to make $5,000 to $20,000 on this deal. So remind yourself. You have to find those cold call, those little reminders to make those cold calls.
Yeah.
Right. So just to answer that quick question, in summary, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Smile, sit up, laugh, be goofy, and
just
have
enjoy
fun.
it.
And just be yourself. What about the cold emails? Because I don't necessarily do cold emails really. It's more of like a what you're doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cold emailing. So I've shout out to Adam. I mean, Adam's been my guy with, really curating and connecting with people too. I mean, that's a big thing that he's on. And I don't try to send, like I have like a template I send, but I always change it and I always cater it to the individual.
You don't want to be robotic.
No, you can't be robotic. And sometimes I will do research on whoever I'm emailing. I'll do some research on the company or I'll do some research on the individual, try to find a way to connect. It's really hard though, because you have to be you have to go in with, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm offering. This is what I've learned. Here are next steps.
Yeah.
But you also have to somehow, and it's really hard, trying to make a human connection.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've had a couple success, right? So for example, I feel I can share this if I can. If we need to bleep it out, we can. So I got connected with the Chicago Cubs back in May.
Yeah.
I reached out to their CFO. And one thing that I did with that is I made a human connection. Mm-hmm. I said, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. By the way, my wife and I said wife. Sorry, Christina. But soon to be wife. Fiance at the time, just to preface that. My wife and I reside in St. Charles. We're huge Cubs fans, blah, blah, blah. Would love to establish a relationship with them. Yeah. Feel free to reach out. Would be happy to, share more about who I am. Very subtle. Yeah. I got a call 2 hours later, right? And it was an awesome conversation with them. Got to talk with them, a little bit about some work. I remember that. But I do want to preface this too. It doesn't always work. I want to say that too, because just because it works one time doesn't mean it's always going to work. Yeah. I think there's that misconception within social media. They think, oh, this is a great thing. It's going to work 100 times. It's going to work
every single time, and then when it doesn't, you get disappointed.
It doesn't. So I want to preface that. I've done that a lot of other times with some other companies.
And it hasn't worked.
It has not worked.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, though, it stays true to who I am, right? But just finding a way to connect with them over an email, it's hard to do. But if you can master that in a very subtle, direct, clear way without wasting someone's time, there may be a chance of them booking a call with that individual.
100%. So let me ask you that, and I absolutely love that. When you're cold calling and you're sending cold emails, what is your objective? What are you looking to get out of it?
Yeah, the biggest thing is to get on a call, right? Because like nowadays, as you know, at least in my industry, I'm calling more of either CFOs, CEOs. 9 times out of 10, they don't really answer. Yep. So that's why sometimes it's hard. Sometimes they do answer, though. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they do answer. It depends on the day. My objective is to get them on a call, whether it's a Zoom call, a phone call, whatever it may be, if they don't answer. Yeah. Right, if they don't answer. That's my objective. And then a lot of times, too, depending on the space that you're in, it's always good to go third person. Yep. Right. So connected with my partner, Adam and I, right? Adam and I have done X, Y, and Z. Like that's validates a lot without realizing that. I've learned. So it's not always about I or me. It's all about, the team that you're with. Yeah. So my objective to answer your question is to book a call with them. Yeah. Whether it's with myself, my team, whatever it may be. Yeah. Okay. And then we can step through that process. But ultimately, I want to build a relationship with them. That's what it ultimately is. Because
you want to build a relationship.
Quite frankly, if we close the deal, fantastic. There's going to be so much more down the road. Yeah. I want to be able to.
You never know what the connection here, whether they do the Liquid X, whether they do Visa, MasterCard, whatever. But then you down the road, you never know what it could lead to. What other ventures you're going to be doing in 5 years. 100%.
100%.
Keep it organic.
That's it. I keep it simple. It's not very sexy. It sucks though, because it goes back to what I struggle with: patience. Because not everyone always responds to, and you got to be follow up.
Takes time.
The follow up
is huge in sales. When you say that you're going to send over something, you say that you're going to do something, you have to do it,
dude. You have to. And here's the thing too.
You have to do it,
and it may take some time. Like we have I'm not going to name the name, but Adam and I have a really big account that we're working on. We spoke with their legal team back in May before the deadline was going to close. Yeah, they were all for it. We're going to move forward. Some things fizzed out for whatever reason. Then we had reached out again, haven't heard anything, but we're still like trying to get, it's been half a year right now, and we're still looking to close them. You don't know. There may be a dead end. I have no idea. Yeah. But to your point, like you just said, the follow-up game is huge.
Follow-up is huge. And just staying in contact with them and continuously showing up.
Totally, man.
Just continuously showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. I know you don't do cold email. Is your business not really set up on cold email, or is that something you don't necessarily focus on?
The business isn't necessarily set up on cold email. I make a cold call. It's usually under a minute, and the objective is to set up time to sit down in person with the owner or the doctor.
Yeah, simple.
Because I know, like, once I get FaceTime, I can make the impression. If I get FaceTime, I can build the relationship.
Exactly.
My goal, the cold call could be 10 seconds. It's just, hey, Doc's going to be in. I'm going to be here on Tuesday the 10th. When do they have time to sit down with me for 10 minutes?
Right. That's true.
That's it. How many people are going to be there? I'll send in some coffee and treats, whatever. Any allergy restrictions? Okay, awesome. Sounds good. See you on Tuesday. Yeah. It's that quick.
It's that quick. Yeah.
Because like my objective is just get in, get out, right? Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, get in, get out, save the day. Seriously. Yeah, and then find time with the business owner or the doctor to sit down. And it's a GG's. Keep it short and sweet.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing too. And I will say this is you can't waste time.
Can't.
and I've done a much better job, and I'm still working on it, but zooming out, right? Like when it's really weird. And I was talking with Adam the other day, and he said, what did he say? I'm going to botch this. So if you're listening, Adam, I'm sorry. But he said something along the lines of, when you're reaching out to people, you have to basically picture it as like you're the 8th person that they've spoken to today. They maybe had an argument with their wife. They're having a really crappy day, right? So you got to be like, it's never you. You have to be direct with your message and just know it's not going to be about you. But if you want to have any like chance per se to get connected with them, you have to provide value, be short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
But also don't take it personally, because you don't know what they're going through. Yep. Right. And that's where a lot of the words that am working on how to convey, as opposed to what I normally do, and kind of maybe on that autopilot, phase within the process. So it's I
love that.
It's definitely been interesting though.
It's amazing advice. I typically one thing that I've found success in this industry, because I agree with you, right? If I'm cold calling a business, a med spa, dermatologist, plastic surgeon, whatever, at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, odds are I'm probably like the 30th or the 40th rep that's called that day.
Right.
I like to hit my cold calls first thing in the morning. Right when they open, I want to be one of the very first people that they talk to in the morning, because people are typically happier. They've had their cup of coffee. They're awake. Boss hasn't bitched at them yet. True. Haven't had a shitty customer. Right. You have a little bit more success and keep it short and sweet, and it's all about them. Hey, listen, I'm the aesthetic consultant in the area. I want to stop in and meet with, Mandy or whoever the owner is, or Dr. Who. And I just want to come in, introduce myself, learn a little bit more about you guys.
Yeah. Boom.
Bring some treats in the morning. Boom. That's done. Is she going to be there? Awesome. She available? Cool. See you guys on Tuesday.
Right.
It's that simple and it's that sweet.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not here to sell you anything. I just want to learn.
Yeah.
Right. And build that relationship.
Right. 100%. Now, I have another question for you, right? We get to the relationship. We kind of broke down kind of our process, how we go about things, maybe some things that we're struggling with. And then we obviously got to get to everyone's favorite part, the close.
Yeah, the close.
Right? So obviously, mind you, our roles, we're in sales, completely different niche in field. It's way different. So we're going to have 2 different answers. But how do you close the deal, or what's a focal point for you on when you close that deal?
So
with the client?
in my current role, I'm not necessarily 100% closing the deal. I got somebody on my team,
okay.
right? My area sales manager that closes the deal.
Yeah.
My job is to find the opportunity to move it along in the sales process, get them qualified, build the excitement, check all the boxes that are needed to close it, right? Which is, are they sold on the company? Do they trust in Cynosure and Lutronic, who we are, the credibility that we've built, combined over 60 years in the space? Do they believe in the technology that I'm selling them, whether it's hair removal, resurfacing, pigmentation, whatever, right? And then do they believe they're going to make money in it? Do they believe there's a market for it? I need to get all 3 of those things checked and answered. Pass it off to Chris. They go through credit, send over statements, and now we talk about integrating the device.
Yeah, simple.
But in order to get the close, you obviously have to, we call it the 3-hour rule. In this business, you have to spend a minimum of usually around 3 hours with somebody to be able to ask for their business.
Yeah.
And in that 3 hours, you have to build trust, get them to like you, understand the company, who you're selling, the integration process, the technology, the market, ROI, all that kind of stuff. So many things that you have to get answered before I can slide that quote across the table and be like, hey, sign this. It's ready to go.
So it's definitely a timing thing, what I'm hearing.
It is a timing thing. Yeah. You have to spend time with people.
I'm glad you said that, because I think some people, I'm guilty as ever.
Jump the gun.
Exactly.
Hey, you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Whoa. I just met you 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Why do you need my social?
Right. What's going on?
Why do you need my social?
Right.
But
that's so crucial though, right? Because it is, because this is how I look at it too, right? To your point is, when you build that trust, rapport, relationship with someone, and you can provide for them, and you can help either save them money or give them an amazing technology. Yeah. Who else are they going to share your name with?
Everybody.
Exactly. Right. Because you provided outstanding customer service.
100%.
Right. And that's the simple thing within the close. So it's not about, some people get worried, I'm going to make $10,000 on this deal, or $5,000, $20,000, whatever it may be. If you can focus on, and this is what I challenge a lot of people to do, include just everyone who's in sales, focus on building that rapport relationship. Everything else will come full circle when it's meant to be. It really is. It's that simple.
I'm so happy that you said that, because the way that when I started with Cynosure, the way that they had us pitching and doing everything was very hammer on the nail, boom, hammer home,
hit all these check boxes,
and then and get it done. Versus now when we merged with Lutronic, we've adopted a little bit more of that consultative approach.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
I've noticed when I focus on building the relationship and like that's at the focal point of everything, the rest of the sales process is easy, right? Because when I spend time getting to know who you are as a person, understanding your business, getting you to like me, to trust me and all that kind of stuff, to the point where like when I'm walking in your business, I'm greeted with open arms.
Yeah.
Now when I sit down and I start asking these tougher questions about like, okay, like when are we doing this, right? How are we going to pay for the device and all that kind of stuff? It comes easy.
Right.
But if I haven't spent enough time with you and you don't know me, love me, trust me yet, you're still going to have all these red flags. You know what I mean? So it's like at the focal point of everything that I'm doing, relationships is the key. Trusting your gut. Knowing, hey, maybe this isn't the right time to like ask for this or do this. We need a little bit more time. Being able to read the room.
I'm glad you said that. I think that's something I've learned the last couple of years that is monumental within sales.
Yeah.
Because to the point I brought up earlier, you don't know what's going on in their life.
You have no idea.
Are they fighting with their wife? Are they fighting with their kids?
Are they getting divorced? Are they sick?
You really don't know,
Yeah.
right? So it's not always about us. So it's really taking that step out and zooming out for a second to really understand, okay, what could be going on? And you kind of, I hate to say it, you kind of have to assume the worst in some capacity so you can get through that maybe mental barrier that you're having within your mind to kind of push through. So it's very interesting, man. And I guess my response to how to close a deal, right? It's like I said, a little bit different. Again, though, it is still like a timing thing, right? Because it's, you got to understand a lot of what I'm doing within, cost savings, financial recovery is working a lot of these class actions. So for us, there's kind of timelines.
Yeah.
Some of them are timelines, some of them aren't timelines. So Visa case, there's obviously a timeline.
Yeah.
A little bit more urgency within kind of, maybe checking in with them a week or two in advance as I normally would when I first connect with them, if that makes sense, right? So, hey, how are things going? This is what's going on.
You thought about it.
Just kind of, do you want us to represent you? A lot of, like, I tell people they don't need us to represent them. However, most do. Like my whole process when I'm connecting with people on the phone is to touch on every objective that they could ask me.
Yeah.
Right. Just so they don't have to ask it. And a lot of times I've had a lot more success within that, right? Like a lot of times people ask me, do I have to go with you? Why should I go with a third party? So I have my whole spiel down of I say what I know they're even going to maybe ask.
Yeah.
And I tell them why they should go with us and what value we can add, what can we offer, how can we do a lot of the risk management side of things for you within your business so you don't have to worry about it, right?
100%.
Save you time, save you money, save you effort, save you headaches,
Yeah.
right? And there's also other settlements that our firm takes on and can handle. We want to be your claims recovery specialist for the long term. Building that relationship. Exactly.
Keyword.
Right? Keyword right there. So again, I think to answer, it's a timing thing depending on which case we're taking on. Is it ongoing? Is it not? You want to obviously get them across the finish line sooner rather than later, of course, naturally, but you also have to understand and kind of see where they're at. So that's why I think for me, a lot of third party helps a lot because we work within teams.
Yeah.
Sounds like with you guys too in your structure, which is that's how it should be, right? Because
we work together.
It's not a one-man show.
It's not a one-man show. It's a whole team.
One man, one woman show, it doesn't matter, right?
It's just like, with the Chicago Bears, right? Like
100%.
when there's bad play calling, the whole team reflects it.
For sure.
When there's bad coaching, the whole team reflects it. When there's a couple sour, apples on the team or whatever, or some sour players, the whole team, it reflects it.
Absolutely.
And so, being able to utilize and lean on your resources is also huge.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
100%. So, absolutely, man. So, it's great.
I like it.
I like it too, man.
I started a little bit late, but we're about 23 on my watch. So, you wanted it to be about 25, 26,
yeah, this
man.
Is
we're almost there.
Yeah.
Perfect. We could talk about sales all day. I would love to bring on a guest maybe and do a part 3 and get another perspective.
Yes.
Maybe from a separate industry, because the cool thing about having these conversations is like, we both do sales, but it's so different.
It is. That's what's really fun.
Different. So it's really interesting to hear kind of what you struggle with and like what you're going through, and then reflecting on what it is that I'm struggling with. Because like at the end of the day, sales is sales, and like the core and the fundamentals of it are similar, but the industries are completely different. You know what I mean? So like the process and the things that you're doing is completely separate from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But they're both fucking hard.
It's still hard, man.
It's so hard.
It's still you still get no's all the time.
Yeah.
Still get no's, but
one of the biggest things, I used to be scared of the no.
Me too.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah,
Chase
me too.
it.
Yeah.
Chase it. Get to the no as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because then you can overcome it.
It's that perspective.
Because, we've all had those times where I'm sure you've had the Zoom calls and the phone calls where you're getting yes to death, right? The person's just like, yeah, and they're just agreeing with everything, and it's like you get off and you're like, okay, like that was great. Holy shit, I'm so amped up. But like, what are the objections? And then you go to get them to like to to do business or whatever it is, and then, okay, now all the stuff's coming out of the woodworks. Oh, I gotta wait because X, Y, Z, or I can't do it yet because of A, B, C. And it's like, well, if I would have just got to the no fucking 3 weeks ago, we could have overcome this.
Yeah, right. And save
chase
some time.
after the no and save some time, right? Chase after it.
100%.
Don't be scared of it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of no. Don't be scared of failure.
Let's go.
Walk through that door.
Bring that on, baby.
Yeah, let's go. Bring it on, man.
Let's go. But no, I agree.
That.
If we do get another person on, I would love
exciting.
that. It would be a fun conversation to kind of go down that rabbit hole. What are some challenges and objectives they've overcame that could also be helpful to our audience? So I'm about that. Let's do it.
It's absolutely incredible.
Let's do it, man.
Maybe a sales part 3 down the road, but I love this.
Yeah, amen.
Right?
Amen.
And hopefully the Bears are doing good things right now.
Bears are winning, baby. I hope so. Let's go.
Winning.
Manifesting it.
No,
Come on.
But in all seriousness, thank you guys so much for coming back and taking another step with us on this journey and with your journey, whatever journey it may be.
100%.
Thank you for coming back and tuning into episode 70. As you guys know, new episodes every single Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing, and watching on Twitch.
Yeah, buddy.
Right. As always, we really love and appreciate all the continuous support. The audience is growing. It gets me and Colton so excited,
Amen, dude.
so motivated when you guys reach out and tell us, hey, I really like that podcast episode or whatever it is. Just knowing that you guys are appreciating it makes us want to work 10 times harder. Yeah. Thank you so much. As always, we love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Oh, that was really bad.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
No, that was a great episode, though. I love that.